Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new chapter of The Hero's Last Master. In the last part, we went over on the origins of Yusa, as he was just a typical boy from the world of MHA, transported to that of the Nasu-verse, mainly in that of the timeline of Fate Grand Order, became that of humanity's last master alongside Ritsuka. However, due to certain issues and traumatizing moments, Ritsuka ended up giving up his title as that of humanity's last master to that of Yusa, which also made Yusa quite traumatic as well. From that of a kind, caring boy who wanted to see the good in everybody while also trying to save as many people as he can, to that of a cold, calculating, and somewhat stern young man who will do anything to protect the innocents while still trying to keep hope for all those around him, even his enemies as well. But barely holding any hope that would happen at all. As finishing up that of the remnants alongside the Lost Belts, Gaia soon offers another job for that of Chaldea to save another world from that of an anomaly, this being his original world, as it could become that of a lost belt. Within sending at least that of 50 to 60 servants to aid him in his goal to save his world, they were able to hack into many country systems and basically create that of Chaldea as that of an independent international hero group, which will make it easy for them to act in this world. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 2, Chaldea's Pro Heroes. Currently, it's now that of 1 month since the Sledge Villain incident, and Yusa now being, told that they have been taken care of by that of Chaldea, with then now currently at a specific junior high school that we all know and love to hate, Aldera Junior High, and in that of the classroom of Izuku and Bakugo. Their homeroom teacher soon arrives, saying, "All right, everyone, please calm down. I have an important announcement to say. As you know, if you can see the desk in the back, we'll be having that of a transfer student starting today for the rest of the year." Within, many of people in the class couldn't help but comment, wondering on who they are, who they're going to be, what kind of quirk they have, and everything like that. However, the only people that isn't really speaking up is it being that of Izuku and Bakugo. As for some reason, the two already know on who it is. Within, their teacher saying, settle down, let me fully go into details. You see, the person that will be coming to us is a male, I will tell you that. So, any of you have any ideas as for their quirk, they can ask you. You can ask them yourself. After all, within soon, calming everybody down, saying, "You can come in now." Within, after that, the door slides open. Coming into that of the classroom, everybody couldn't help but be shocked and surprised. And couldn't help but also be dumbstruck as well, with many of the students can't help but be shocked. Some of the guys with that of perverted thoughts can't have that of blushes and a bit of a nosebleed, while some of the girls can't help but also be shocked, while some can help, as they all have that of blushes on their faces, as it being that of two figures, as they are quite familiar with one of them wear that of a, Aldera Junior High uniform, while the other is wearing that of a, different school uniform entirely, as the person wearing the Aldera Junior uniform is Yusa, as he has that of a fake, somewhat convincing smile, within him speaking up, still having that of a somewhat happy tone, saying, "My name is Yujiro Carson. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I hope that we can all get along in the near future," as he bows his head, with then soon everybody looking at that of Okita Soji, as currently she's wearing that of a school uniform. However, she having that of glasses and that of a small scarf around her neck. As she introduced herself, "My name is Siryu Okita. I'm not a student at this school, but my main duty is to look after that of Carson-san here, as orders from the independent and international hero agency, Chaldea. Please don't mind me. I don't want to cause any trouble for any of you in the future." As Soji also bows her head as well. Within, everybody begins to talk, saying, "Seriously? A hero? Wait, she's a hero student? She's a pro hero? No." Saying, "No, it can't be. She's so young. There's no way she can be a pro hero. Yeah, it must be a joke. There's no way she could be." With then, soon, Yusa having that of a mental link, being that of the servant master contract between the two, as saying, "You should have brought up the fact that you're basically an intern with them," saying, "My apologies, my beloved master. I should have been more clearer. Should I bring it up?" Saying, "You could basically, well, counter yourself, but wait until somebody else says it. Makes it easier." "Understood, master." Within, somebody raising their hand saying, yes. "Okita-san, you say that you're from that you're from that of the international hero agency, Chaldea. What do you mean by that? Are you like a pro hero? Because you look like you're around our age, or at least a year older than us. There's no way you could be a pro hero." Within, everybody in the classroom begins to comment on that of the student's question. Within, however, Izuku and Bakugo, on the other hand, are aware of who she truly is. Well, not truly is, but how they see her is, after all. Within, soon, Soji begins speaking up, saying, "Actually, I'm more of an intern. I'm mainly working with that of Chaldea from over the States, actually. Temporarily, it's basically an internship, what some pro hero students go through, since I'm originally from America, as that of a college student." With then, soon, everybody basically brings up the fact that she's basically older than she looks. Within, many of the guys couldn't help but gawk at her even more than before. With many of the girls can't help but admire her beauty as much. Within, soon, one of the guys saying, "Hey, Carson, right? Tell us, aren't you seem like, are you a foreigner?" With saying, "No, if you're asking about that of my given name, I've been born and raised here in Masafu my entire life, actually. Well, half of my young life, to be fair. But I'd rather not go into details about that." Within, the teacher saying, "If you're going to ask about that of Carson Sands, well, pass, then please do not. The school has basically been given orders that nobody can ask about his past unless he has permission to." With then, soon, hearing that, Yusa couldn't help but look at his teacher and nod his head, while still having that of his fake smile. As I said, I am originally here. I lived in Masafu throughout my entirety of my childhood. As for the reason on why I'm transferring here now, like I said, it's personal, and I'd rather not go into details about it. Within, after saying that, Izuku had his head down, while Bakugo couldn't help but have his eyes, well, basically, his veins are basically shadowing his eyes. Within, the teacher saying, now that you all have some of your questions answered, please, Carson, could you," saying, "Yes, sir." Within, taking his seat, as Soji also follows him as well, as he takes his seat in the very back, with that of Soji also waiting behind him, keeping an eye on everyone else. With then, soon, a few people began to talk to themselves, whispering, saying, "Seriously, what What did he have to do to get out of a pro hero intern to basically shadow him, saying, you think he's a villain in disguise? Saying, doubtful. Seriously, villains like that don't come that young, unless they're really that of a psychopath. Then, soon, Izuku couldn't help but clench his fist in that of annoyance, talking about that of Yusa like that, unaware of the things that he's basically gone through. As for Bakugo, on the other hand, he couldn't help but shout, saying, "Oi, will you all just shut the hell up, will you? I want to get this damn class over with, and you're all basically muttering is annoying the hell out of me, just like the damn nerd." With that, everybody shuts up before Izuku actually flinched. Within even that of Yusa couldn't help but narrow his eyes at that of Bakugo, saying, was that truly necessary just to get people to stop muttering and talking behind my back? Then soon, Okita speaking once again through that of the mental link, saying, it seems that he is not truly in a good mood, master. Saying, when is he ever? Honestly, I've known him since we were kids. Katsuki Bakugo, or Katsuki, as I used to call him. Once he got his quirk, he became that of an insufferable, arrogant, and an unbearable piece of shit. Even as a kid, nobody bothered telling him down. And even still seems like the exact same because the teacher didn't basically tell him to shut up. Once again, it seems like they care more about his quirk than his personality. As long as he becomes a hero, that's what matters for the damn school after all. And of course he aimed it straight at Izuku. Especially given that everything I've heard from Izuku when he came to Chaldea, with Soji nodding, saying, you truly care about your friendship with him, saying, of course I do. More than anything. This world isn't kind to people like him. Far from it. If anything, they do whatever they can to basically erase his very existence from a bygone era, as they say, the quirkless, the useless. It sickens me entirely. With then soon clenching his fist, saying, that's why Chaldea will basically root out this problem, while also finding out what the anomaly is that will cause this place to become a lost belt. With then soon, the class is about to start with their home teacher getting everybody's attention, with first period about to begin in the next couple of minutes. With then soon, Yusa couldn't help but sigh, saying, can't believe I'm going through that of school like this again. Honestly, I'm glad that I have a normal life again, but still, I feel like I should be focusing more on finding the anomaly. With then Soji speaking up once again, saying, don't worry, master. Knowing the others, they'll find it. And they'll also be able to do some good as well, as pro heroes, as you say, saying, sure, maybe, Okita. But even so, I don't like to just basically sit by and do nothing when I know I can help out as well. After saying this, soon, Yusa begins to look out the window, wondering on how the rest of his servants are doing. Currently, in that of Shibuya, the central district city within that of the massive city of Tokyo, several villains began to cause quite a bit of a havoc around that of the city, with a few of them having that of tons of yen dollars in that of their bags, with one villain looking like that of a wolf, having that of light green pants on him while basically running on all fours. Another villain having that of bat wings, as it being a female villain, as she shows quite a bit of cleavage, but wearing that of a skin-tight leotard after all. And the other, basically completely composed of bandages, actually, moving around a lot more because he has that of more money bags in that of his bindings. As then, a few of the crowd couldn't help but scream, saying, a villain attack! We're the pros! With then, soon, the wolf-like villain couldn't help but basically growl in that of happiness, saying, like hell the pros are going to show up. After all, we made sure to attack during that of a busy day. No way the pros would basically want to cause collateral damage in a place like this. Within the wing villainess couldn't help but say, of course, perfect plan. It was the perfect opportunity to strike once and for all. Now with this enough money, we'll be able to live that of a loveless life. With then soon, the bandage-like villain can help but say, "Hey, we got some heroes coming." Saying, "Huh? Who would be? What kind? The heroes are probably just tracking us. So what if they could? Once we get to the rendezvous area, we'll be long within soon before they could finish." Several blasts of fire come straight at them. As for the wing villainess, she was soon hit by that of a burst of flames, sending her to the ground onto that of the sidewalk. Within, the bench villain saying, "What, Yuri?" Before he could react, he was soon hit with that of a burst of flames surrounding his body. Basically, he was hit by an arrow that basically caused him to engulf in flames, burning up mainly the money. However, as he begins screaming in that of panic, saying, "Why? Is Endeavor here? Any of his sidekicks? What the hell's going on?" Within, the wolf villain actually turning around, looking on who was attacking him. However, in front of him being that of a pale figure wearing an all-black uniform with that of a pinkish reddish fur coat, with that of pure white hair that looks like snow, wielding that of a spear with that of a large ring on the edge of the blade, within saying, "Your judgment has come." Within, he was soon sent flying with one solitary swing, denting at least a few cars on that of their roofs, with four being skidded down onto that of the ground, causing quite a bit of, collateral damage to that of the road, but nothing that can't be repaired, but nothing too major after all. Within, as the hit alone was the thing that basically caused more damage than just basically hitting multiple things. With soon the werewolf villain also passing out as well. As the crowd begins to wonder on what just happened and who took down those villains, within a few civilians seeing that on that of the roof, as it being that of three servants from Chaldea. The one in the center, otherwise no, the one with the spear, with that of the pale complexion, as it being that of Karna, or or Lancer of Red, as most people know him as. The one on the left being wearing that of a full-on samurai armor, with that, as she has that of light blue hair, crimson red eyes, while also wielding a bow alongside that of a katana on her side, being Tozame no Gizo, or Archer of the Inferno, and the other being that of a young woman that looks that of Chinese actually, with that wearing that of having that of long brunette hair, wearing that of a robe that shows quite a bit of her cleavage after all, wielding that of flaming blades in her hands, as this being Yume Ren, as she speaks up, saying, at first I wasn't too fond of this whole hero act. After all, it seems beneath us, when we should be focusing on trying to finding out what is causing this world to become a lost belt." With then soon goes and speaking up, saying, "Lighten up. It's not so bad after all. This is actually quite fun. What do you think, Karna?" Saying, "I'm only doing what Master asks us to do. Play the hero and protect the innocent of this world. Simple as that." Within, seeing a bunch of heroes that actually do see them couldn't help but actually cheer for them and thank them for what they've done. With Karna, not, if you could see, he actually having that of a light smirk, as part of him actually enjoys the praise that he's getting, especially given that the kind of origin that he has gone through after all. But even so, the orders of his master come first, and his own self-satisfaction can come second. Within, adjusting his spear, saying, "Come on, let's continue on our patrols." Within, soon, Giza saying, "Radio." Within, Yume saying, "If we have to." I would rather get back to my beloved Jingyu with then thinking about the former Chinese emperor, now turned lost belt, machine berserker class servant, with Gozen saying, you got it, love, it's truly a beautiful thing. With, don't you think, Karna? Within, Karna basically looking in the distance, within Gozen saying, Karna? What's the matter? Saying, it's nothing. Let's continue on our patrols. As he turns around and soon jumps off into the air, within saying, hey, wait up. Within, Yume also getting out of her daze of thinking about her beloved before chasing after that of her fellow servants. Turns out in that of the distance, a certain female pro with wearing that of a full white uniform with that of a pretty short dress skirt after all, and that of hot black leggings, and having that of a flaming, and her quirk showing that of her flaming hair, green flames after all, as she has that of a mask over her face, as this being the number one sidekick to that of Endeavor, Burnin, saying, so that's what the boss wanted to check out. Geez, I heard about these guys, but they're pretty damn efficient and brutal. Didn't even bother basically waiting on that of the cops to show up. I mean, they figured that they would, but it's almost like they didn't really care if they were alright or not. But even so, they are efficient. They kept collateral damage to that of a minimum and only focused on incapacitating and not basically beating. Well, except that Lancer guy. If I recall his hero name, Lancer of the Sun. What a weird name, I have to say. But doesn't matter. I better go and tell Endeavor about this. He's been interested in these guys for a while now. After saying her own inner thoughts, soon Burden begins to fly off as well, with that of her quirk, heading back to Endeavor's hero agency. Farther out of the country of Japan, in between of its two islands, the main island of Honshu and the island of Shinkoku as well, there lies that of a tiny island that is basically guarded by several patrol boats. However, little did they know that they were actually going to be attacked from the air. The reason being, the island that is being patrolled is a meta liberation supply island, basically holding that of the many supplies from the Detonera company, run by that of Redestro, the current leader of the Meta Liberation Army, as the island's inhabitants is composed entirely of Meta Liberation members. On paper, it's supposed to be that of a countryside island town, mainly where most people could go down, settle, keep away from that of the busy urban bustle of the cities, and on that of the main four islands. However, that was all. It's just a front for the Meta Liberation to keep all of their support gear created by Detonera for their members when they strike. The only downside is that when you look on this island, you just see that of an honest to God living town that supports one another. But that's far from the truth, because there are many places like this that are controlled by the Meta Liberation Army. As the island's inhabitants began to work and store away as many support gears as they can, with then soon one pro hero being that of a tall, muscular man wearing that of a purple leotard, spandex leotard, with that of a mask covering his face, with that of a broad and pretty enormous chin. This being the pro hero Sliding Go, a somewhat high-ranking member of the Meta Liberation Army, as he's basically keeping an eye on production of the support gear made for the many heroes, villains, and civilians of the Meta Liberation Army. As he continues sliding through the streets of the small little town, he couldn't help but smile, thinking, "Great. Looks like production is going smoothly. Make sure to send all the goods to that of the docks. After that, we'll make sure to separate those going to the black market to those heading straight to our allies on the island. Within, many of them say, "Yes, sir." As they said this, soon everything begins to explode. With Sue, as Sliding Go can't help but feel somewhat terrified, saying, What's going on? What's happening?" With Sue, as then tons of explosions began to go everywhere throughout that of the island, with even Sliding Go completely and utterly terrified. "Why? What's happening? This island, where the patrol boats, weren't they?" Within, looking out into the distance, he could see that of tons of smoke all across the islands, as those were the patrol boats. As the explosions around the island continued to go off, saying, This can't be happening." As looking around, soon somebody appears right in front of Sliding Go, as he was about to see what's happening before him being punched square into the face so hard that he was soon sent flying into one of the houses, as the person had basically smashed his face in with just one solitary punch, being that of a somewhat small but fully armored figure with that of somewhat devil-like horns on their helmet. Within, soon the helmet begins to make a shift off that of their face, as this being Mordred, as they hold that of their iconic sword Claudarn in that of a reverse grip in that of their right hand. Within, saying, "Ugh, seriously, I can't believe I lost that stupid rock paper scissors game, and I can't be there to wait on Master when his school lets out. Ugh, it's so not fair." As she gets irritated, soon a person of the Meta Liberation Army was coming straight at her, with that of a glowing ring around their hands, and saying, "Die, you bastard!" Within, soon their arm was cut off. Before, surprised and shocked, they were soon kicked away by that of Benevere, saying, "Sir Mordred, do not daydream about your loss to not being able to be with that of our master. You know for sure that very night Gawain herself will be there to be there for him. As long even that of Lady Okita Soji there to protect him too. You have nothing to worry about," saying, "Of course I know I don't have anything to worry about, you damn idiot, Benevere. Seriously, Boy Scout, the reason I'm mad is because I'm not there. Just because I accepted it doesn't mean I have to like it." Within, soon, with one solitary slash, another member was about to attack Mordred before cutting them in half with Claudarn. Within, Benevere couldn't help but sigh, saying, "Remember, this is an operation to capture them, not kill them." Saying, "Well, whatever. If I recall, these bastards are basically revolutionaries who want to cause nothing but pain and suffering for their country. Saying so-called rights for everybody to use their quirks. Nothing wrong with that, but if they're basically planning on destroying society and making life hard for everybody for their own so-called order." Within, soon, her helmet comes back on her face, as then Claudarn's burning red energy begins to crackle around the blade, that of the massive broadsword, as she says in that of a muffled voice, saying, "Well, then they have another thing coming." With then soon Mordred running into the fray, basically sending that of waves and waves of that of powerful magical energy from that of the Crimson Sword. Within, Benevere couldn't help but sigh. However, little did Benevere know somebody was coming up to him, as it being a young lady wearing that of grayish armor, with that of a massive spear and shield on her in her hands, as this being Sir Garrett, as then saying, Sir Benevere, was that Sir Mordred by any chance?" Saying, "Yes, I could tell she didn't seem to be in a good mood." Within, hearing that of massive explosions and crimson red energy going off, within Benevere saying, What gives you that idea, Sir Garrett? Is she mad not being around Master?" Saying, "You right on the money." With then soon a few other Meta Liberation Army members send basically blasts of their quirks. One with that of an energy blue light quirk that sends that of a ball of energy, while the other one said that of a ring of energy that looks like that of a rainbow at the two round table knights, as then they both block the attacks before the other takes down the one that was basically attacking them, with Garrett stabbing the one with the ring light quirk, while Spenavir has that of an open wound slash on the one without the energy ball like quirk. Within both of them basically landing down on the ground, within fleeing the blood off of his blade, Benavir saying, "I think it's best that the two of us keep her in checks. I mean, as much as I don't like to kill any people here, and as much as we need the information, some of these people have chosen their path. Normally either because they feel like it's the only path they have chosen to only use their quirks, or they feel like the current society has basically failed them. It's truly a shame." But then, Garrett saying, "I say the same too, Sir Benavir. Truly, a loss of life this day could have been avoided." As the two members of the round soon head off to chase after their fellow member, hot-headed member at that, Sliding Go, having that of a swollen, basically punched out face, with almost half of his teeth removed, his right eye basically completely swole, and his entire right side of his face completely kind of caved in, with even his hero costume completely and utterly ripped, say, "I need to warn the others. I need to get off the island as soon as possible. But still, how? How did they get on the island?" With then many of the members of the Meta Liberation Army that were at the warehouse nearing that of the docks in the outskirts of the island began to notice that their backways, which has that of an underground dock, was basically blocked and taken down by that of by the other members of the Knights of the Round. As there they see one of their own, a young woman with that of purple hair, dark tan-like skin, and wearing that of a revealing top, black top, with that of tight shorts as well, as her mouth was basically covered entirely. Within, one of them say, "Ugh, Naomi, how could you? How could you betray us? I knew something was up with her. She seemed too willing to join that of the Meta Liberation Army." Saying, as then, this woman known as Naomi saying, "It seems that my cover was blown. No matter, the operation has already been that of 80% fulfilled. Kings of the Round, I leave the rest to you, as me and my other selves will keep everything in check around and make sure that none escape the island." As then, she soon completely materializes that in smoke, as her entire body mainly is composed of a darkish, blackish skin, with that of a skull mask on her face, with also wearing that of a full black attire as well, as this being Hassan of 1,000 Faces. Within the two basically standing behind, as being that of a young woman wearing that of a blue armor, with that of a hair, with her bleached blonde hair basically tied into that of a bun, wearing that of silver-like armor as well. As in her hands is that an invisible sword, while the other is also that looks like exactly like that of the young woman, but a male, as he also having that of blue armor with that of silver guards around him as too. However, he has that of a blue cape around with that of fur on it too as well, as his sword is also invisible. But then saying, "Now, Artoria, shall we?" Saying, "Of course, Arthur. Do not," as then Arthur speaks saying, "Do not worry, we will not kill you. However, we would ask you to at least surrender peacefully. We do not wish for this to get violent." Within Artoria saying, "However, if you do force us However, if you do not cooperate, we will bring you down. Injuries be damned, especially if they're life-threatening. You have been warned. What will you decide?" Within, all of the members couldn't help but scream out, "Like hell we would! For the glory of the Meta Liberation Army!" As the crowd of people began to rush towards them. Within, soon, Arthur couldn't help but sigh, saying, "Truly a shame." Within, Arturi saying, "Agreed." With soon, both the invisible-like swords began to fully materialize. With one solitary swing, a burst of golden energy soon materialized through the back of the island. Within, throughout the entirety of the island, many people were trying to defeat at least that of several others, as one of them being that of a pretty huge young man with that of blonde hair, as he having that of a navy blue uniform and a full silver armor, as he wields that of a massive great sword in his hands, as with one solitary swing, he sends that of a burst of fire, almost like that of the sun itself, towards his enemies. Not only that, beside him being that of another man, in that of purple armor, as he having that of spiky purple hair, as he has that of a black robe across his shoulders, going all the way down to that of his knees, and with one swing from that of his silver golden-like sword, more and more people began to be sent flying as well. Within, in the distance, they began seeing more and more bursts of red energy coming from that of Clodart. Within, soon, Gawain couldn't help but chuckle, saying, "It seems that Sir Mordred is already on their warpath, it seems." Within, the purple spiky-haired man saying, "Indeed, she must be still reeling for the fact that she's not going to be there with that of Master. Truly a shame. Unable to be there for our Master, as they cannot express their love for him." Within, soon, another man couldn't help but speak up, saying, "Well, that's my foolish brother for you. It cannot be helped, allowing their emotions to get the better of them." Within, soon, another man with that of a mature figure, as they having that of pure black armor, with that of a black cloak also covering them, with that of slick back spiky hair. Within, soon, a blonde-haired man saying, "Sir Agravain, did you?" saying, "Yes, they're right here," as in his hands being that of certain documents, saying, These are legal documents showing that Detnera were planning on selling some of their support gear to several villains alongside that of the black market. With this, their stocks would go down. And would also, not only that, I even have that of several other legal documentation that they were planning on destroying, that they were also tied to that of the Meta Liberation Army. Sooner or later, with this, it would be easier to find even more members within that of the Meta Liberation Army, and showing that Detnera is also a supporter of the Meta Liberation Army. Within, soon, the spiky-haired man couldn't help but smile and nod, saying, "Excellent. It seems the efforts of clearing this world of crime and villainy is truly helping. If it wasn't for the Hassans making sure to keep an eye out on people like these, we wouldn't have been able to figure this out." Within, soon, Gawain speaking up, saying, "Come now, Sir Lancelot. If it wasn't just the Hassans, Sir Moriarty was also in charge alongside that of Sir Holmes as well. If anything, we had to thank all of them for their efforts to allow us to do away with all of these crimes and injustice as well." Within, hearing that of another blast of crimson energy in the distance, Agravain saying, "It seems that my brother's tantrums are even growing even more and more. I hope Master is able to spend time with them, and less of a headache on missions as well." With soon, all three of them couldn't help but nod. Before then, soon, a burst of golden energy happened throughout that of the distance of the island, behind that of the island. But soon, Lancelot speaking, saying, "It seems that our kings have acted, meaning our mission is about to come to an end." With soon, Gawain saying, "Agreed. Have the police been called?" Within aggravating saying, I've made sure to hail them when they arrive. Within soon, another Meta Liberation Army coming straight for that of the three knight servants, with one of them saying, "You'll pay for ruining our life!" As metal-like claws begin to emerge from their arms and hands as well, coming straight for that of Agravain, as Gawain and Lancelot were about to act. Within soon, Agravain, pulling out that of a sword, soon cuts off the man's head without even any of the blades coming near his body. Within saying, how unsightly. I hate battling. I prefer using my intelligence and stealth to my advantage. How troublesome. Within soon, Lancelot and Gawain couldn't help but snicker a bit at that of Agravain's complaining. However, one member of that of the Knights of the Round was basically beating each and every one of the Meta Liberation Army members that were there, without even mainly knocking them out, without having to cause any lethal injury, just to knock them out, or basically force them to pass out after all. As this being that of a young man wearing a dark violent uniform, as the coat is covering that of his armor, as he has that of silver white hair, as currently he's wielding that of a massive shield. This being the knight Galahad, as he bashes away another Meta Liberation Army member, while also jumping into the air, kicking that of several other Meta Liberation Army members as well, before spinning that of his shield away to defend from several attacks, being from lightning, fire, water, ice, wind, energy, and several other projectiles as well. Within soon, seeing that he is surrounded, however, he is not winded. However, his attackers, on the other hand, seem like they've basically been trying their best to knock him out and try to kill him, with one of the members saying, "I don't understand. How is somebody like him able to hold against us? We've been using our quirks for so long. As members of the Meta Liberation Army, we have more power. We should have more power." Within another saying, "Yes, just as our great leader, Lord Destro says, as the commander says, we are the ones who have the right to use our quirks. We are the ones who are the strongest, who will rise up into the top. So why is this lone man not going down?" With then Galahad can't internally thinking and can't help but pity all of these men and women and pros and innocent people who basically have given their lives to a cause. Within thinking, if our master was here, he would truly pity all these people. He would do everything he can to help them and try to bring them to that of the side of good. But if not, he would most likely make sure that they would suffer for their crimes as well. Within soon, Galahad basically taking that of a deep breath and stance, before then soon raising up his shield once again, saying, "I will give you one more chance. If you do not stand down here and now, I will bring you all down, no matter what." Within soon, one of them say, "Like hell we will lose to you, you government lapdog! We are the Meta Liberation Army. We will be the ones who stand and create a new society." Within everybody, basically rallying up, screaming, "Yeah," and all for the glory of the Meta Liberation Army. Within, hearing the constant cheering and basically chanting as well, Galahad couldn't help but sigh before saying, "So be it." Within, soon, going off in the distance, as in a quick blur, he basically knocks out, pushes, kicks, punches, and basically makes sure, and even for a little bit breaks a few bones of each and all of his adversaries, and only in that of a good 1 minute. With then all that's left is basically a pile of bodies. Within, he couldn't help but sigh, before saying, it's time for you all to face your crimes. With then, soon, looking up into the sky, saying, we are doing the right thing for the good of humanity of this world and for the innocents as well. Are we real? Isn't that right, Master? That's what you said. With then Galahad thinking of his master, within out into that of the sea, heading a small speedboat heading straight for that of Shinkuku, as it being sliding go, say, I need to get to an organization quickly. Not only that, as a pro hero, I'll be able to basically say those bastards destroyed an entire town. This will be easy. No, there's no way I'm going to let those bastards from Chaldea ruin the Meta Liberation Army's plans. As a head member of the Meta Liberation Army, it's only my duty to protect it. It's only my duty to make sure those who get in our way suffer. As he couldn't help but giggle and laugh at his genius plan. However, he doesn't know that two people are basically coming up on him, but not in boats, but on something completely out of this world. As you can almost through that of the hum of the speedboat, you can almost hear that of galloping as he continues, as the noise of galloping continues getting closer and closer to Sliding Go. He soon looks back before Sliding Go's one good eye couldn't help but widen in shock, saying, what? As the person galloping is two people on a horse. One man with that of silver white armor, as he has that of white hair, spiky white hair, short spiky white hair, wielding that of a long lance, as his horse is almost like pure as snow. And as for the other one, as it being that of a young voluptuous woman wearing that of blue armor, as she looks exactly like that of Artoria. However, instead of wielding a sword, she wields that of a spiral lance, while also riding on that of a horse as well. Within saying, Your Majesty, it seems that this will be the one that we were supposed to target it. Within the young woman saying, yes, Sir Percival. This was the one that was supposed to be captured, wasn't immediately supposed to be captured from that of 1,000 faces. But it seems that he was managed to slip away, such as the slippery traitorous bastard that he is. Such vileness needs to be put an end. But then soon, Percival speaking to that of his other king, saying, Your Majesty, please, remember, he's an important figure to make sure that the capture. If we capture him, we'll gain more information from the Meta Liberation Army. Within, soon, the other Artoria can help but sigh, saying, Of course. Just seeing somebody like him who has basically given up his heroism, the ideas of protecting the people, as within, soon, Artoria begins to remember, saying, I want to be a hero. A hero that protects and saves everybody, no matter what. Even if it basically puts me through that of hell. As long as I can save at least one person, that's what matters. As these are the words of that of a young Yusa at the age of 12 to 13. With then holding on to her lance of Rongo Miniad. She can't help but say, just remember the words he once said. I will not allow such somebody who bears the name of a hero taint those words of what our master once said. Within, bursting at full speed, within soon, Percival also going at full speed as well, as Sliding Go freaking out, pushing out of the speedboat at full speed, saying, come on. I'm not, who the hell are these freaks? What kind of quirks do they have? This is unnatural. Not even quirks are this. Within soon, in front of the speedboat, Artoria Lancer uses that of Rongo Miniad to stab the legendary lance into that of the speedboat's engine. With then soon seeing this, soon Sliding Go begins to get sent flying, as in the air he begins screaming and panicking, thinking that he's going to have that of more his body is going to be broken and basically scattered on that of the water, given on how fast he was going. However, little did he know, the impact never happened, as he was soon grabbed by the scruff of what's left of his costume, dangling almost like that of a limp noodle, as currently, right now, he's being held by that of Percival, saying, "We have questions about you. We wish to know more about the hierarchy of the Meta Liberation Army and all those who support your defunct and outdated group. You will tell us, like it or not. You will tell us." Within soon, Sliding Go can't help but tear up in that of fear, terror, and shame as well. In a good 10 minutes or so, the police from that of Honshu and Shinkoku finally arrive to that of the island, within soon getting the statements and the documentation about the invasion of the island, as they were given permission to take down the smuggling ring. Within, the police can help but say, you Chaldea pro heroes are something else. No one's able to act this much, and we're able to even get this information. Not even us police officers were even able to figure this out, and we've been investigating the remnants of the Meta Liberation Army for years now. I have to say, you international pro heroes are something else. As the person speaking being that of Arthur, saying, how in the day's work, all we want to do is make sure to help out and protect the good, innocent people of Japan. It's just what we do. It's just what we do. As Arthur gives that of a kind and caring smile. Within soon, Artoria is saying, unfortunately, some of the inhabitants of the island did not give us any choices to take down. Please, if you can, even though they are villains, please give them at least a proper burial or proper cremation as well. It just cannot be something. The battlefield is quite the chaotic place after all. After saying this, one of the police officers, seeing that of one of the bodies that was basically, destroyed, of one of the Meta Liberation Army members that were basically cut up, destroyed, or literally just turned to ash entirely, couldn't help but throw up. Within, the officer saying, "Hey, Odachima, get a hold of yourself. You're a police detective. You were going to see stuff like this from time to time, especially from that of pro heroes and villains alike." Within say, "Sorry, Chief. It's just, it's way too much even for me." Within soon vomiting again. Within the police chief saying, "Ugh, sorry about that." Within soon, Arthur saying, No, it's our fault. We were hoping to end this on a more peaceful and more quiet note, but of course, it was easier said than done. We're truly sorry about the cleanup, though. If you would like, we could help out. Within, the chief saying, No, you heroes have done enough. Especially all of this has happened. It's easy. It's only natural that some things can't always be easier. Within, soon. After that, the chief soon walks off and bringing that of his detective with them. Within, soon, Artoria Lancer soon gallops on that of her horse. Within, going to that of her other selves as well. Within, standing taller than that of her other selves, even that of her male version, she can help but say, I will not lie. There was so much needless death here. Within, Artoria saying, agreed. But of course, we are so used to fighting for our lives that, within, Arthur saying, it's hard for us not to hold back. For many, Galahad was able to make sure. Even that of Benevere was even able to keep things in check, only for a couple of moments where he had to do that of certain lethal slashes as well. Garrett too, I have to give her credit too as well, but within seeing more and more dead bodies, or at least limbs of certain dead bodies as well, being carried away in that of body bags, or what's left of them being carried away as well. Within soon, Artoria saying, we're so used to fighting for our lives, and that of the anomalies, remnants, and lost belts. I don't think that we're used to basically going against that of normal human beings. Some of us are, well, the rest of us. Within, soon, Artorias saying, it's only natural that we would think that, other me. We just need to get into a better feeling and make sure not to cause any more deaths. Within, Arthur saying, that's what truly matters. After all, we are the Knights of the Round, the ones who fight for humanity and for Chaldea, be it servants or pros. After saying that, the rest of the Knights of the Round gather around that of their kings as well. Currently, on another one of the main 4 islands of Japan, being Kyushu, and the main city of where the agency of Hawks is located. In that of an abandoned warehouse, you see that of several villains. However, unlike the so-called villains that basically either work together or that of, well, aren't really that well known, these villains, on the other hand, are high-ranking villains. Some of them are that of A rank, or that of B rank and A rank villains, actually. Well known in the underground and have that quite a bit of an influence. As currently, all of these villains basically are standing over that of one young man. As this young man wearing that of a snazzy vest suit. As he has that of light darkish brown hair with crimson red eyes. And in his hand is that of a sword with that of a golden guard and that of silver handle. And within suit, one of the villains with that of a metal-like appearance, with that of bolts basically coming out of his head, saying, seriously, a brat like you came here to take us down? Within another one of the villains, basically composed entirely of electricity, couldn't help but say, even I gotta say, kids like you think playing vigilante is really pathetic nowadays. What is this country coming to? Within, a female villain, as she has that of spider-like legs behind her. However, she has that of a fully human body in front, wearing that of a spider-like tank top, while also covering her eyes, except that of her long flowing black hair. Within saying, "Sit, it's only like all." It's like when All Might says anybody can be a hero, even those who think that they're above the law do think they can be a hero. It's so cute, especially this little one. Within suit, the young man saying, please, I don't need you all patronizing me. I am telling the truth that I am a pro hero. I've only come here, willingly of my own free will, to ask you to please turn yourselves in peacefully. I don't want this to go rough. That's all I'm asking. Within soon, the 3 villains couldn't help but laugh. Within, even that of the grunts in the background that basically follow them as well couldn't help but laugh as well. Within soon, the machine-like villain couldn't help but continue laughing, saying, "You think you could beat us? And you really think that we are going to believe that a kid like you is a pro hero? Hawks, we can get. That's why we basically hide around in this territory to make sure that he isn't around." Within, the electric drive villain saying, definitely. With those damn feathers of his, he's able to basically listen into anywhere and stop us anywhere as well. He may be the 3rd ranked strongest pro, but even his damn quirk has its limits. Within, the female spider villain saying, yes. And to think that somebody like you who looks like he's still at least that of a early on high school student, that we're supposed to believe that you're a pro, do not make me laugh. Within sued, Sigurd saying, it's a shame. I was really hoping that we could settle this peacefully without any violence. But of course, easier said than done. Within soon, and that of his right hand showing that of a marking of a dragon. Within soon, lightning begins to spark in his hand before he clenches it. creating that of a burst of pure light and energy coming off of him, blinding everybody. With then soon the villains couldn't help but also be shocked and surprised as they cover their eyes. Hell, even the villain that's basically composed of lightning itself actually is still sensitive to that of to lights as well. With then soon getting out of the way as then coming through that of the warehouse as a burst of energy basically blasts through, even knocks away that of the many of the grunts as well. With then soon the figures being that of 5 people, one of them looking like that of a European young woman with that of their blonde hair braided together, and that of blue garbs and that of silver armor wrapped around her arms and legs, wielding that of a flag spear. The other being that of a tan-skinned older man with that of pure white hair, having that of silver-like armor that covers everything except that having to have an opening in his chest with that of a bright green glow in the center of his chest, as he has that of a great long sword in his right hands. As for the other, being that of another man that with that of white and black hair pattern, wearing that of glasses, as he has that of black armor that almost looks close to futuristic, as he has that of multiple glowing like light blue blades on that of his side, with even wielding that of a light blue blade as well. As right now he looks calm and collective, however, through his glasses, he's actually quite ready for battle. However, the other 2 figures is that of a young woman with that of silver hair, and she has that of quite a wide assortment of armor, as ranging from that of black, white, and purple, and she has that of a great spear, as the metal tip is basically coated in that of the color purple as well. As for the other woman, she has that of a pure dark black dress, wielding as not only that, she has that of pale, really, really pale white skin, almost like that of a porcelain doll. She also has that of whitish grayish hair that goes all the way down to that of her back. But what stands out about her the most, as she has that of a massive great sword with that of a dark red like jewel in the center, almost like that of an eye. Within the blonde-haired young woman saying, "Sieg, why did you wait so long to give us the signal?" With then soon Sieg running back towards that of his allies, saying, "My apologies, ruler. Did not wish to. I wanted to make sure to end this peacefully without having to resort to violence, you know." Within soon she couldn't help but sigh, saying, "That's just like you." Within soon Siegfried saying, "Nothing wrong with trying to do things the more easy and more passive way. However," within soon all of the villains, including that of the grunts, began to get their eyesight back and began to notice the rest. Within saying, "But villains like these do not go down or do not change so easily." Within soon the black-haired woman saying, "Oh dear husband, you of all people who do not change. But I guess I will agree with you at least this once. Grunhild, please. I told you do not need to join with that of me, Sigurd, and Sieg. You did not. We could handle this ourselves." Saying, "And of course, somebody like you believe that I am dainty. And also, you don't need to worry about me. I told you I am a berserker-class servant. I can handle myself, you worthless husband of mine." Within, the whitish, blackish, glasses-wearing man couldn't help but adjust his glasses, saying, "I'm surprised that the 2 of you are still a loving couple, even given your dysfunctional relationship." Within, soon, Siegfried and Grunhilder speak up, saying, "You 2 have the right to talk." Within, soon, Brunhilder actually kind of blushing while also saying, I mean, our relationship is, we do love each other and care for each other. We just love to fight and battle against one another, after all. It's the way for us to show our love for one another. Is that so weird? With then Sieg, as she looks at both Sieg and Ruler, with then soon Sieg saying, I don't think it's weird. A couple is a couple. It just depends. I don't think how you show your love for each other is that weird, after all. Within Ruler saying, it depends how it's seen in public, though, and to others. But even so, I do appreciate that the two of you care about each other most definitely. With then soon the metal-like villain saying, Are you all just ignoring us? With then, after that, all six of them actually finally get the attention of all of the grunts and the villains finally staring at them. Within, Sieg actually preparing his sword as lightning begins to crackle around it, saying, I think we should handle this before we can actually speak once again. Don't you all agree? Within, each and every one of them preparing their weapons in hand, with all of them saying, agreed. With then soon the villain saying, get them! Kill them! As the grunts began to rush towards them, while also activating their quirks as well. However, little did anybody know, or rather, little did the villains know, their attempts were basically pointless. It's basically a full-on explosion of energy, power, electricity, and even that of pure, unadulterated rage and hatred was unleashed to all of them in the area. Hell, even Hawks, who sent that of several feathers towards that of the warehouse, and also saw that of the Chaldea servants who showed up too, couldn't help but actually have that of a sweat drop, as he was able to hear at least some of the conversation, saying, I've heard about these Chaldea guys before. However, there's only one downside though. Even though these guys say they've been around that of the world for that of 10 years, there's no records of them basically being around there. I mean, paper records, online records, but no that of people reports, nothing like that. It's almost like these guys just appeared that of 2 months ago. However, they have been approved by that of the UN, especially from that of America, the United Kingdom, even that of Italy too, especially from the Vatican. It's almost like everybody wants to keep them in check. Hell, even certain people in that of the Japanese government have basically give these guys to go ahead and do whatever the hell they wish. The worst part is the Hero Public Safety Commission doesn't like that. They hate playing second fiddle to people who think that they can do whatever the hell they want. As that of the young third ranked pro hero of all of Japan can help but feel kind of nervous and seeing what these guys are capable of. But soon, seeing in that of the warehouse, as both Siegfried, and Sigurd carrying that of the three villains, while the grunts are still in the warehouse, as the three ladies are basically talking to them, with Ruler or Joan of Arc basically worried about that of Sieg, as he's basically trying to calm her down. Brunhild basically trying to talk down to Siegfried, while Siegfried not even fazed too much by it, and more worried about her well-being than anything. As for Sigurd, wondering if Brunhilde was able to enjoy herself in combat, but say that it wasn't that well exciting after all. With then soon Hawk saying, and not only that, it seems like they're in a relationships after all. Some even married. Seriously, heroes relation. There's nothing new with basically pro heroes basically marrying each other and making out of a team, but a team of entirely composed of pro heroes that are in relationships. Now that's surprising. It's almost like Chaldea prepares to work with everybody. I need to get this information to the Hero Public Safety Commission. As much as I hate it, I got no choice. Whoever these guys are, they're really something else. Within soon, Hawks flying away. However, little did Hawks know, Sieg, alongside that of Joan, were able to see several of his feathers flying away back towards the Wing Pro. Within soon, Sieg couldn't help but narrow his eyes, saying, "It seems that we're still getting more and more attention day by day." Within soon, Siegfried saying, "We should probably tell the others about this, even Master as well." Within, Sigurd saying, "Hopefully it's nothing major, but knowing Chaldea's luck, that's easier said than done." As all of them couldn't help but nod, wondering what the future holds for them and their master. Back at Masafu at Aldera Junior High, the day finally comes to an end as Izuku is heading straight back home after all, as he's preparing for his training with that of All Might to get stronger after all. So he's prepared for One for All. Bakugo also preparing for his training too, not even spending time with his lackeys to be honest. Ever since the sledge villain and seeing that of Yusa as well, who is a lot more different, he can't help but also push himself as well to get stronger too. As for Yusa, him and Soji heading straight out of the school, a few students couldn't help but gawk at that of a certain figure, especially since it's a figure that Yusa knows all too well. As then seeing in the figure as it being that of a muscular, tall, fully silver armor young woman with that of long blonde hair and heterochromatic eyes. As she soon noticed her master, as then Yusa saying, "Hey there, Brunhilde, how you doing?" Within, she's saying, "I was just waiting on you, master. I need to make sure to keep you in to send you back to that of the compound after all." Within, soon, Soji bows her head saying, "Brunhilde-san." Within saying, Okita, you've done your job well of keeping our master in check." Within, Soji saying, "Well, it is my duty after all." Within, Yusa couldn't help but snicker at their interactions, as you would think that they're basically showing their dominance towards on who cares about Yusa the most. However, they actually genuinely care about Yusa altogether. There are only a few times when some of them are willing to fight to spend time with him. Mainly 3 servants in Yusa's little harem after all. With then Yusa saying, "So, is it only just you?" Saying, "Not quite, actually. She was supposed to show up, but..." With then soon seeing something flying in the distance, as then Yusa actually noticing, saying, "Oh shit." As the thing that's basically flying straight up into the air, with then soon you could hear somebody screaming hello in Spanish. With then soon they begin to jump off the flying thing as it being a pterodactyl. Within soon creating that of a mental link between him and his lost belt saber class servant. He's saying, "Vargas?" "Yes, master." "What? You didn't tell me that Quetzalcoatl was showing up." Within saying, "Hello there, my master." With Vincent, as then Vargas saying, "She wasn't. It was supposed to be me today." With then Soon saying, "Shit." Within dropping down onto the ground, creating that of a small dust cloud. Within a certain familiar blonde-haired Hispanic rider class goddess servant, where instead of wearing her traditional default combat uniform, she's currently wearing that of casual clothes. A white long sweater with that of long black skirt that go all the way to that of her thighs, showing that she's being a lot more modest, which, since Yusa basically made sure that she's modest, given that he has seen her in her Christmas uniform, as that is one Christmas that he will never forget and regrets all the same, as she's currently nuzzling her face onto that of Yusa, saying, "Aw, my adorable little master, Yujiro. Aw." because I really miss you too. But then you saying, Quetzal, can you please stop? Plus, we're in public. With his entire face red, normally he wouldn't be bothered by this because, of course, the Chaldea staff has seen him, well, being all lovey-dovey and, well, cuddling with that of Quetzalcoatl. However, they're now in public, especially back in his original world, and especially in front of his school, with many guys being jealous, while many girls actually also being jealous, but more of, well, of Quetzalcoatl after all. With Yusa sighing, saying, there goes my first day. With then soon, Soji couldn't help but create that of a link saying, even in your original world, some things never change, right, darling master? With then soon, Yusa saying, is this some kind of punishment? Or did I deserve this? With then soon, Vargas actually couldn't help but giggle while covering that of her mouth to show that she wasn't. As some things may change, some things always stay the same. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this? This is basically the introduction of several of the servants basically acting as that of pro heroes after all. However, these will be the servants who would be having more of the limelight in the story and will be taking center stage as well. Some servants will be acting and will also be taking part in fights. However, these are the servants who will be mainly focusing on as the story goes on. That will be that of the three servants as the story first started, being between that of Karna, Toma Gozen, and also Yume Ren as well, as they will basically be that of a servant pro hero team composed of fire users after all. As you guys know my motif and my style, the almighty flames rule all, and Karna's one of my personal favorites. Plus, I have a huge story date with him and also his brother Arjun as well. So look forward to that. The second team being the Knights of the Round, of course. They'll mainly be that of Chaldea's pro hero group that would take on that of major tasks that other servants can't or don't have the power, or, well, won't be as subtle as they are. And yes, that battle was close to being subtle. There are only a few servants that can have the coordination and power and work and proper working together like how they did. So yeah. Also, if you guys saw, Hassan of 1,000 Faces was there as well, as they will be that of a vigilante team gathering information within that of the underbelly and underground of Japan after all, while also sneaking around, disguising themselves, keep gathering information. As for the first Hassan, the Grand Assassin, well, he'll play a major role as time goes on and only shows up when they need some ultimate firepower to put a villain down. And we all know who that villain's going to be. No need to basically hide that. And last but not least, our last team will be that of Sieg, Joan of Arc, Siegfried, his wife, Karnhild, and also that of Sigurd and Brunhilde. Mainly because I'm a huge fan of mainly Sieg, Siegfried, and Sigurd after all. Mainly because they're dragon motif after all, and given on their connection between the three too as well. Also, I wanted to make more of a pro hero team of servants composed of lovers after all. Sure, there are several, well, couples in that of Chaldea and that of Grand Order as well, but these 6 are my favorites, to be honest. And we can get a lot of labs after all too, so there's that as well. So if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification key to date my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, my Patreon, my other channel, my Cash App, all linked in the description below, if I'm not too lazy. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later guys, and I hope you all take care.